of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everybody this evening for coming to our meeting. This meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school board corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There will be time for public participation as indicated on the agenda. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodations should contact the superintendent at the school corporation's central office. Our mission is to educate, empower, and inspire excellence. If anybody would like to speak under other, there is a form up there by Dr. Alanez. If you could please fill that out and return it to the same space. Next, we're going to move on to student and staff presentation. PTS interns presentation, Dr. Alanez.
I'm excited this evening. As you know, in the summers, we have been launching with student interns with our Portage High School students. This summer, we had student interns with the marketing department as well as our instructional technology department. I'm really excited because this evening they are going to be sharing with you firsthand their experiences, what they've learned, what they've enjoyed, maybe some challenges they've had, and show you a few tricks and tools. So at this point, do we want marketing? You guys want to head up first?
So this summer we had 4 marketing and public relations interns. We have 3 of them here with us tonight. We have Tommy and Tasha and Camille, also known as Q. And they just did such a wonderful job this summer. They came to me with just a wide variety of experiences under their belts. Some had some writing experience. It's all finished, at least the painting part is over on that side. And I strongly urge you to stop by. It looks very, very phenomenal. It just brightens up that hallway. And you can tell you're entering a school within Portage Township. That was the big thing. So they did a great job on that. We were working on printing some posters, some think before you post, social media posters that we are going to put in our schools. They did a great job on that. I kind of challenged them to use some design programs that they hadn't used before, and they did a great job with it. So I'd like to introduce them and have them talk a little bit about what they've learned. So Tommy?
I worked a lot with press releases. That was kind of my area of expertise, you can say. I worked with Portage Life, and doing things here was a lot different than the things they do at Portage Life. I had to figure out how to write in a different style than what I was used to. A press release is all information. With an article, you can throw in things that you think or something personal or like that, and I had to figure out how to not put that in there. Working with Tasha on one of the posters we worked on, I think we worked on that, we got it done, but that was kind of like the challenging part to us.
Which poster was that?
It was the Think Before You Post.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tasha. I am the Powwow School Newspaper Editor-in-Chief, and during this internship, I learned that articles and so I kindly say, can you give me a news source or can you answer my questions? And she's like, I can't answer your questions, but I do my best. And I'm like, that's fine. Either way, I still got the press release done.
Okay.
Deeves approved of it. And I absolutely love this internship because it helped me improve my skills that would help me this year as Editor-in-Chief of the Powwow.
Howdy. I'm Camille. I am basically the school's artist. I worked in West a lot. It was my first time ever doing something so big. I've never worked anything on a wall, and I worked hard. I worked I think it was InDesign or Illustrator, one or two. I worked on that, and then I came up with an idea that I think would look good in West. As a student, who's been there a lot, I've noticed that we need something there, and so I worked on that. And the challenging part was pulling the tape off, put it on.
Out of the work that they did. Tasha's going to join us for the program during the school year. Next year, she's going to help us out a little bit after school as well. And then Tommy and Camille are going to be continuing on to take the class this year. So they'll be with me for the rest of the year, taking pictures, writing press releases, doing a little bit of design work. Maybe just a little bit this time. So yeah, so those are our marketing interns.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity, great portfolio to put together to have doing this. And we appreciate everything you've done. And press releases are pretty sterile. They're just the facts, and you have to get those out. So, but with the powwow, you can have some fun with. So it's good that you got both aspects and sides of it. And we really appreciate your artistic design. And we'd like to see some pictures too. Yes. Of what she did, because I know that. In fact, I wrote down I was going to ask if we could get some of the art students. Did you take art too? So you're.
Oh, it's been 3 years.
Yes. So I figured if we could hire some art students
Yes.
to do some branding and marketing on our walls.
Yes, it's perfect, because there was a recent, I believe it was an Indiana school that has done some of these
Yes.
things with the branding, and the great thing was when I forwarded that article to Mrs. Devers-Lowy, then she was able to send me, well, this is what Camille's doing right now, and it was exactly in sync to what the new age is, as you said, which I think is exactly what we need, Q, is that whole idea of we're there, we know what we want to see, what appeals to us, and we as the adults need to let them take that lead. I find it interesting that not only you used the surface of a wall for the first time, but the brick with the, I was looking at it and I really thought some of it was decals until I physically saw it. So, and then the same thing is true with the press releases that you guys have done, the pictures you have all taken. You've been in this building, always extremely professional, always in a very good mood and very polite, and so we've really enjoyed having you guys around. I'll tell you, that's one of the most difficulties of having summer as a building principal. When the kids aren't there in the summer, you feel better when the kids are in the building. So it's a great opportunity for us this year to have had IT interns and the marketing interns actually physically in our building. We get to see them when they're coming in the morning groggy, when they're coming back for lunch. It's a great addition to the building. So thank you.
So does AI Adobe, does that take into account the bricks? It does, right, in the artistic form, or no, you had to put them in there and then make a drawing around it?
That's essentially what we did. We took a photo of the space
Yes.
and then took it into a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of Adobe Illustrator, and we were able to take a design that she did and render it so we knew how it was going to look in the space. And that was very helpful.
And I do love that this year, especially being able to tap into different students' backgrounds to build that program, because when I learned that Q was coming on board with that artistic talent, just something that I had not even really considered how much is so important in moving that mission forward of getting the branding out there. So.
And then those students who want to move forward too and go into art or the liberal arts into a university, that portfolio is very, very, because they have to have literally a portfolio. They don't look at too much SATs. They have to have a portfolio typically to get into the acceptance, so. Especially if they want any scholarship. So that would be great if we could do that, if we could hire some even on the weekends, because in the pictures that you've seen, I know I sent that article to you, is phenomenal, how they just brand the schools and they use the walls and.
Yes.
So,
And the great thing is those never go out of date because it's who you are.
well, thank you. Good luck to you this semester, this school year. Next, we're going to move on to the good news report.
I'm sorry, real quickly. We've got our IT interns. We've got 3 of our ladies here.
Oh, okay. I just see.
You were thinking, yes, we got, right? Not so quick.
All right, there's a few pictures up on the slides there for you to take a look at as we're just sort of talking here. I'm gonna let the girls talk mainly. Just to let you know, we had 14 this year. We interviewed 14. We hired all 14. That's what I am. I run a classroom, so that's how I run them. 8 returned from last year, which was phenomenal. We had 6 new ones here. we had Sarah. Sarah's one of our new ones here. And then we had Emily and Marilyn. They are second years. And Emily's leaving us this year. She's going IUPUI. But hopefully Marilyn will come back next year because she's a senior this year. Yeah. So she's really grown. Just our interns as a whole, the kids that we interviewed, they grew up over the year last year. They were squirrely. Some of them were squirrely freshmen. And somebody go, "You're hiring freshmen?" Yes, we want the freshmen. And so we hired them. And what's great is we're going to have them for 4 years.
Yeah.
So we tell them to go do something. They just go. It's like, okay. And the most struggle we had this year was that we had undergrads telling our seniors who were new how to do something, and they didn't like that. And we're like, well, they're in charge. That's just the way it is. So just to let you, just a few things what we did this summer. That with the kids' help, we built 15 data closets. That was a lot. It was a lot. We did 15 data. We did 2 data closets basically a week. They finished wiring the outside Wi-Fi at all the elementaries. They wired all the cameras for all the elementaries for future projects. They fixed hundreds of problems, correct, kids? Hundreds. They'd open up a file, they go, this is not supposed to be wired this way. And they fixed it. They fixed it, not us. The girls here rewired a whole Project Lead the Way lab with Miss Kathy over at the Willow Creek. But it also freed us up that our kids, our team was allowed to rebuild some things as well. The piano lab, the music tech lab, the radio projects. They processed, what, 2,500 iPads by yourself? If not more? All the way through. 6th through 12th grade they processed for us. And all the kids did a phone audit for us. They did a TV audit for us. Yeah, they were very busy. And we actually really enjoyed them being with us. I'd come and eat lunch with them. I'd come here in the morning, I could be with them, and then they take off with the team. But it was just nice. We had them picked up with a bus. So I'm going to have the girls talk a little bit about what they did and what they enjoyed.
I'll go first, I guess. Well, I was mostly like iPads and computers and cleaning them. And with the senior iPads, they were really dirty, so it was a lot of like cleaning them and then resetting them for future use of different students. It was a great opportunity because sadly this is my last year because I'm graduated. But it was a really good opportunity. It was the first job I ever had as a high school student. So my supervisor was really nice to me. I was never afraid to ask any questions. The most challenging part was just when you're cleaning the inside of the computer and then you have to put it back like together. That was only the most challenging part. Besides that, it was a really great time. I'm really glad I got to experience it. And like I said, all my supervisors was really, really nice. And it was a great time.
So what did you guys wire, the girls specifically? Project Lead the Way lab?
Yeah, in Willow Creek, it was a PLTW lab.
So tell me about that.
All the computers, they had to be wired with Ethernet cables, and so we ran a line of wires like all the way around the room to get to each computer specifically. We had to clean the computers from the inside out. We had to plug them in. Then we had to get a power strip on the ceiling. Some of the wire had to be run through the ceiling. So Spencer, who was there with us, he went up he got on a ladder, went up, moved the ceiling titles, and he helped us like move them through the ceilings to get down into where they needed to go. So
And how many days did that take?
Probably like 3 or 4 days.
See, that's the other thing that's awesome. Mr. Lesich and his team are always amazed at how quickly they can get these things accomplished and it all work. So that's wonderful. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Marilyn. I'm going into my senior year. This is my second year doing this job. Hopefully I will do it again next year. I was also on the iPad crew, so we took the iPads, cleaned them, processed them, reset them to get all the information off of them to be used once again. Last week we helped with the PLTW lab. It was my first experience with wire, but everything was explained to me very thoroughly. I understood it. I was able to do it, even though I was very nervous myself to do it because I never had done wire before. But aside from that, it was a new. Even in my second year, I had a new experience, and it was very lovely.
Good. Very good. And I'm assuming, did you guys work with Miss Kathy on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Yes, she is. Yes.
Okay, the theater goes. She's a tech person. She's actually a tech person. So, but they did a great job. We were floored by the kids we had last year, and then this group came in, and we were floored again. Just great group of kids. A lot of compliments in the district. You're dealing with vendors. You're dealing with adults. You're dealing with kids, and all 14 of them, I think, were very professional in every setting. They went out to lunch together. They came back together. They played cards at lunch. As soon as we said it's time to go, they cleaned up. They were on the truck. Things were cleaned up. It was a little challenging. We met here all summer because our building is getting, sort of getting cleaned out to be decommissioned. And the kids are like, okay, that's where we gotta go. We'll go there. We just had to keep them away from you guys because they eat a little messy. So, but it was good.
Yeah, we
It
stopped
was
letting
good.
them here.
So we had a great time, and thank you again for allowing us to have the interns. Just a great experience for my team. Who there's only 3 of us that worked with kids in the past life. So it was a growing experience for them as well. So thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, and good luck at IUPUI. What are you going for?
I'm going to psychology.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, now we'll move on to the good news report. Ms. Lowry.
Hello again. Okay, for it being summer, I have a pretty decent amount of good news, which is good. Isaiah, the high school's comfort dog, started off our new school year by joining our Pride of Portage marching band for rehearsal last week. The students enjoyed taking a break with him, and it was so cute to see them just kind of relax and take a break and put the instruments down and snuggle him a little bit. Our PTS Transportation Department participated in the Salvation Army Stuff the Bus event at Walmart. They collected 3 large boxes of school supplies to give to students who need them this school year. The athletic trainers at Portage High School visited the Portage Fire Department to provide valuable training on working with athletic equipment. This will allow the department to be prepared to safely treat our student athletes who experience an injury during the game. Officer Kurz visited the Founders Square Summer Meal Program location to hand out a 10 Today, Achieve Tomorrow shirts and bags. While there, he encouraged students to maintain great attendance throughout the school year, and he spoke to them about future careers in the law enforcement field. He actually took his badge off at one point and handed it to a kid because he didn't believe he was a real police officer. So he said, it's real, promise. The Willow Creek Middle School cross-country team spent some time cleaning up litter around Portage, and they even saved a little baby bunny in the process. We'd like to thank them for keeping Portage clean. The PTS maintenance team completed a number of projects over the summer months. The district-wide chiller replacement project is complete with 14 new units installed. Across the district, the team made improvements in flooring, painting, exterior doors, and gym doors, just to name a few. In total, 22 capital projects have been completed. We thank them for their hard work and dedication over the summer months. For upcoming events, our schools are hosting their back-to-school nights this week. I'm going to cut out a little early this evening. I apologize because I want to go snap some pictures of our kids at the back-to-school nights. Our middle schools and high school will be hosting Orientation Day tomorrow for students in grades 6 and 9. Those are in the morning. South Haven Elementary is hosting their Boo-Hoo Yahoo Welcome Back Breakfast this Wednesday at 9 a.m. I had to practice that a few times. Fagley Middle School is hosting their back-to-school bash for students next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. That's our good news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great news. Does anybody on the board have anything under agenda adjustments? Dr. Alanos?
I do not, thank you.
We'll move on to board development and strategic plan, goal number 4. Trustee Clancy is not here. Trustee Finley, do you have any report out?
No, other than I do want to share that we should be setting a policy meeting pretty soon because Julie is going to be sending an update regarding policies.
Mm-hmm.
She's reviewing them and she should have something to us this week, hopefully.
Yes.
Dr. Allen has stated that she'll have some additional policies from the Neola that she wants us to review as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trustee Maleta, I guess we can take off. Do you have anything under Park Department, or you're still our liaison?
I'm still
Yes.
in the Park Department, yeah, but we have not met since my last report out, so I'm gonna use that.
Okay, and do you have anything then, Trustee Vasquez?
Yes, the Portage Township Education Foundation met last week on the 6th. They are working on recruiting additional members to work on committees such as marketing, work on the website, and fundraising. Fundraiser is being planned for the fall for the elementary and middle schools. Orientation Day, I know that we've met with 30 new teachers and provided them with information about the foundation and provided them with bags of goodies. There was a PTF joint breakfast at Fakery Middle School this morning, or pancake breakfast. One of the goals for the foundation is to increase awareness about what the foundation is, the purpose of the foundation, and how the students and the staff benefit. We talked about payroll deduction as a way that foundations generate funding, and would like to increase the number of staff that participate. At this point, I think there are only about 31 staff members from the entire district who use payroll deduction. Some corporations, I know they have over 50% of the staff. And they want to continue to work on communication, and the website will be updated.
Thank you. And then for legislative, we do have the federal flash. I'm used to talking to Cindy.
She's still right there.
I know, I found her, yeah.
Senate Committee explores school safety. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights offers recommendations, and 2 bills are introduced to help students prepare for and complete college. Hi, I'm Philip Lovell, and I'm joined by Ann Heislip. Let's begin with school safety. Ann?
Thanks, Philip. Last week, the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs held a hearing on school safety. Before the hearing, Deb Delisle, President and CEO of All4Ed, submitted a letter to the committee recommending a broad approach to defining school safety, rather than an exclusive focus on gun violence. Deb's letter stated, quote, "School safety is about more than preventing shootings. It also encompasses issues such as student voice, educational support personnel, school discipline practices, positive social and emotional learning, and student privacy," end quote. Each witness at the hearing contended the federal government could do more to improve school safety, including witnesses representing victims of the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. One of those witnesses was Max Schachter, the father of a student killed at Parkland and founder and CEO of Safe Schools for Alex. He urged greater transparency and data regarding school safety. Here's a clip.
On college campuses, the Federal Clery Act imposes financial penalties for inaccurate reporting of campus crime statistics. But in K through 12, there is no such requirement. The result is that when you go online to look at school ratings, many of them, including Marjory Stoneman Douglas, have an A rating. Academics are important, but if the children do not come home to their families and staff don't come home, nothing else matters. That A rating that Marjory Stoneman Douglas has nothing to do with safety of that institution. There's no school safety rating system currently to inform parents and teachers of whether or not their school has implemented the best practices to prevent and mitigate the number of casualties during the next school attack. Schools should not be able to get an A rating like Marjory Stoneman Douglas did if they never held a code red drill for the entire school year.
Also last week, the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights released a report that urged the Trump administration to issue new school discipline guidance to states and districts. The report found that students of color and students with disabilities are disproportionately disciplined in school. It also found that 1.6 million students attend a school with a sworn law enforcement officer, but not a school counselor. In 2014, the Obama administration issued guidance to address disparities in school discipline, but the Trump administration rescinded the guidance, citing that it posed a threat to school safety. Scrapping the guidance was a recommendation of the Federal Commission on School Safety, which was created after the February 2018 school shooting in Parkland, Florida. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, however, argues that the Education Department should continue to offer guidance to states and districts on how to ensure their school discipline policies respect students' civil rights.
Back on Capitol Hill, Earlier this month, Representative Joaquin Castro from Texas introduced the Hispanic Educational Resources and Empowerment, or HERE Act. It authorizes a $150 million grant program to support collaboration between Hispanic serving institutions, or HSIs, and Hispanic serving school districts to improve college readiness for Hispanic youth. To be eligible for a grant, institutions and districts must have at least 25% Hispanic enrollment. Based on this criteria, there are currently 523 HSIs and 3,343 school districts that could gain access to these funds. Focusing on these institutions and school districts is critical given large achievement gaps in high school and college attainment for Hispanic students.
Also, Representative Andy Levin from Michigan and Senator Tammy Baldwin from Wisconsin introduced the America's College Promise Act to improve college affordability and increase degree attainment. It creates a new partnership between the federal government and states and Indian tribes to provide 2 years of tuition-free enrollment in community or technical college programs that lead to a degree or industry-recognized credential. To access these new federal funds, states would need to align their high school graduation requirements with entrance requirements for credit-bearing coursework in community college. States would also need to ensure their programs offer academic credits that are fully transferable to four-year institutions in the state. Finally, the bill establishes a new grant program to help minority-serving institutions cover a significant portion of tuition and fees for the first 2 years of attendance for students from low-income families.
That's all for today. For an email alert when the next federal flash is available, email us at alliance@allfored.org.
So with that being said, that legislature was asking about the code red drills. Those are state-driven, how often they're done. They're not school-driven, correct?
Correct, they are
So what
state-driven.
is the Indiana Department of Education code red drills?
The Indiana Department of Ed, when they put those things out, they're required to be in our emergency management plans. They are required to happen not monthly, but we do them monthly. They're required to happen a handful of times each school year, but we still provide the opportunities and expectation that those are done monthly.
So I think he didn't realize.
Correct.
That's something that's.
Correct, yes. And we're also fortunate in the state of Indiana because this year they developed a system that was put into place for the 18-19 school year where you are assigned a school safety specialist from the Indiana Department of Education, and they come on site, review your school security plans, access those crisis prevention books, and determine if your school district meets all the standard requirements. And on our very first attempt, Portage passed without any suggestions for revision.
I have a question. Where would be the evacuation site for the high school?
That is something that we do have in the plan, and it's something that we have chosen to keep just within that district team, so that in the event that an evacuation were to occur, that we could safely get our students where they need to be and our staff where they need to be prior to that location being flooded by family who obviously would be concerned for their child. So it is in there. We have MOUs in place for all of those evacuation sites throughout the entire school district with those locations, but we just don't, our teachers know that they're to get on the bus and go wherever we take them with their students. Mm-hmm.
And I did forget to say, for those of you who are still here, this is a business portion of the meeting. You're more than welcome to stay, but if you'd like to leave, we understand if you have things to do also. Next, we're going to move on to old business. Do you have anything under old business with copiers? Any other agenda item that was?
With copiers,
Updates?
Mr. Elwood and I have been working collaboratively on that.
You guys will be flooded with information here very soon. We've drafted a model policy. We've finalized, I believe, the RFQ. That was all sent to Superintendent Alvarez today. And the idea is to have everything ready to roll for the meeting. So you'll have that well in advance.
So the policy has to go through the policy committee first.
Correct.
Yes. So that,
right.
I apologize.
This is just more informational.
Yes.
The policy won't be on the agenda for 26th. It's just the
Okay. And it's leading practice policy, and there was some research behind it that's going to be quoted.
Yes, and we also do have a rollout plan with timeline and accountability measures in place as well that I will also be sending to you.
New business, we need to hold a public hearing for the superintendent's contract. Do I need to open that up?
Yes, please.
Okay, we're gonna open up the public hearing for the superintendent's contract. Do I have to state if there's any comments 5
Yes.
times?
Yes. Three each. Any in favor and any against?
Okay. Is there anybody in favor of the superintendent's contract? Is there anybody in favor of the superintendent's contract? Is there anybody in favor of the superintendent's contract? Is there anybody who has any negative? Opposed to the superintendent's contract? Is there anybody who's opposed to the superintendent's contract? Is there anybody who's opposed to the superintendent's contract? Hear none, public hearings included?
So this will be on the agenda for the 26th. You can approve the contract 7 days after the public hearing.
Yes.
So
That's
been a series of notices that have been sent. We worked with Cindy to get those out, so you guys are aware of the changes and they've been published.
the new course proposal for Portage High School, we're gonna need a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve the new course proposal?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
Trustee Pushkar?
Yes. Next, we're gonna need approval for the non-union group increases.
Make a motion to approve the non-union group increases?
Second, discussion?
I do have a question. Some of these individuals in the group are administrators. This is going to be retroactive to July 1.
Everything that was in there will be retro to
Okay.
July 1, yes.
That's my only question. Thank
Yes.
you.
And then I have a question. There's not page numbers. I scroll down and count up. 1, 2. Third page.
Okay.
I'm not understanding the 215 principal category with the 2%. Is that an error? That dollar amount?
Yes, my apologies. That's an additional, yes, that is an error. That should have read 85,164.
So then carry that over to the 2%, should be 1.
Yes. Thank you for catching that.
And then also I have a question too, with the 215 principals, the average salary is $85,164. And then with the 230 principals, the middle school, the average salary is $93,203. Why are the middle schools separated? So is 215 including the high school and the elementary? Is that going to be
215.
9 schools?
So 215 principals are elementary principals.
Okay, so we have the middle school, 230, where's the high school?
The high school, the high school principal is 260.
Yeah.
And then we have, as you said, the middle school 230. We have the 215 are the elementary principals. 208 are all assistant principals.
Okay, I don't see the principals under 260.
The principal's 260. Okay. I can assure you that's because, now looking at this, that was the new hire this school year, so there's no increase for the 260 principal. So that's why you don't have that information, because we're not doing an increase there.
So where's the high school principal?
Not on this because there's no increase coming.
So, okay, so for the, how about the high school assistant principals? Where are
Yes, the
those?
high school assistant principals are the 208-day assistant principals are all in there.
Okay, so that's all 11,
So the
middle
two-
and the high school
Yes, that
are
is
merged,
correct.
But they're not merged for the principals?
Correct.
What's the rationale for that?
They,
Just curious.
based on the number of days they all work,
Okay.
was the rationale.
Okay, so maybe next time when we do something like that, it should be the number of days. Then that would make more sense. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, rather than breaking it into category, because,
260s means something to somebody, that means nothing to this board.
yes, that makes sense. Okay, I can absolutely make sure that happens.
Yeah, and then if we're not giving one, then put it in there and say no increase.
Okay,
Because,
yes.
you know, new hire.
Yes, okay,
215 is actually the days they work, right? Just doesn't.
yes.
Oh, so 215s are the day. Oh.
The number of
Yeah,
days.
the number of days.
Yeah, they work days.
Right.
Yes.
215 days.
Yes,
Yeah. I thought it was a budget line.
I thought
item.
it
yes,
was the budget.
I can see where you're,
HR.
right.
230 days, 260 days, 208 days.
Yeah.
And then it would be nice to know, I know we get the average, but it would be nice to know how many principals fall into each one of those categories too. Can you give us that?
There is actually an attachment that has the actual individual principal, if there is an increase or not. And I know that's a lot of documents that you guys were taking a
I've
look
seen it,
at.
it's at the last
Even if you
page,
just had a
isn't it?
column in
But
there,
it's
they just had the number next to
Be
each
nice
of those.
to have it all in one document.
All in one
So
document.
you don't have to
Okay.
look underneath a different page and then try to. Do you see what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So it's all in one.
I'll make
area.
that happen. Okay.
Okay, so do we need to do anything to clarify this document or just vote on it, Mr.?
I think you're fine just voting on it. Just put that correction. There's also another correction on that same page.
I see.
Under 208 principals, under 2%. Should be 1577.10.
Okay, my apologies, I'll make sure that gets,
So can
So
we
we,
approve this document with the corrections?
Yes.
That's gonna be coming before this is posted, so can we make sure?
Yes.
And then we can
Yes.
clarify the days
yes.
and how many principals?
That's the attachment.
Yes, and then the high school principal, even though he's in there, he's just not getting a raise.
Right.
because he's in there. So do we have a motion to approve the, or we've already had the motion
already
in a
had the
second,
motion,
we just
sorry.
need to, any other
Yeah.
discussion? No? Call the vote.
actually, I'm sorry. Whoever made the motion
I
to
made the
amend it
motion,
to
so I'll
include
make the
changes.
motion with the changes
Yes,
as
thank you.
discussed.
And I'll revoke my second, that was the exact same thing as Mr. Davis said. Call the vote, please.
Trustee Finn?
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez, yes. Trustee Maleta?
Yes.
Trustee Griswold?
Yes. And then next we'll move on to the superintendent reports and updates. Dr. Elenes, do you have anything?
Just a few things. Of course, grateful for the successful intern programs that took place this summer, as they definitely start the school year off with excitement and allow a lot of opportunities for our students as we prepare for summer. Prepare during summer. We had a successful back to school launch this morning. We focused this year and will continue to focus throughout the year on the significance of relationships in order to achieve significantly in a school district. I want to also share with the board that Versatran, this is the program that is for our buses. They, by mistake, had somehow switched our link for our students, so families have been very patient with us as Versatran worked through that glitch, and again, families just wanted us to know that that was not working properly, so we did make sure to get that information out to them. We are continuing the mobile market for this school year. Something that is exciting for the region is that other school districts are also now wanting to have this opportunity. The difficulty then for us becomes that we'll only be allowed to have it every other month instead of every month. But Mrs. Devers-Lowy and her student interns have started to research other locations in the city and township that have similar things, so that we can make sure we're advertising when they have their events as well, so that families still can make sure. And again, we'll continue, and they know we are on their radar should someone else drop off, that we'd like to pick up more as much as possible. I would like to thank the IT team. As you can see, they were able to repurpose a lot of things, and it really looks great. The departments have worked really hard this summer. We had an opportunity to have them all over, and Dr. Mike, Mr. Wilson, and I were cooking hot dogs, so that was about a week ago, so that was a good time. And just, again, sharing with them, our custodians, our maintenance crews, our clerical staff that works in the summer, the appreciation that they deserve for the hard work. I wanted to share as well that we did have our first training for Train the Trainers with Benchmark, and also any teachers who wanted to attend that. It was very well attended, and we had our first training for the language arts program at the middle school, and also, again, extremely well attended. We had over 200 individuals come to the summer series for two days of professional development, and it was a great turnout and great topics. Individuals throughout the entire district, as well as partnering with the Department of Child Services, CASA, various different community partners. And I do believe that's it.
Back to school.
Back to school is tomorrow for 6th and 9th grade orientation, and all students Wednesday.
All staff is today.
All staff was today. Yes, yes, all staff today. Yep.
Does any other board member have anything under other?
I would like to say that I attended, trustee Freeman, I attended a PE orientation this morning for all the staff members. And we noticed the segment as we greeted some of the staff members and introduced ourselves. And we also met some individuals that are new to our district, and we thank them for choosing Portage Township schools to serve our students and our community.
And I want to say great job on delivering your presentation to the staff this morning and setting the expectation about building relationships with our kids, because that's very important. So thank you for that. And our students did a fantabulous job this morning. The cross-curricular piece of singing the "This Is Me," and so I did write down some of those little lyrics that you did share with everyone. So thank you for getting them coordinated to come in. We came over and talked to them, and we asked them when they're ready to start school, and they just looked at us. I know a group said that they have orientation tomorrow and for the 6th grade and 9th grade, so they are ready to come back and have an awesome school year. So I just wanted to say, everyone have an awesome school year, and I know that it's going to be a successful one. So thank you.
Yes, and with that being said, the room, thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Alanez, and those of you who are here and put this together. This is something that the board did request and have requested a long period of time. It's professional, it looks nice. We raised the bar and you met it, so we appreciate that. And let's continue with this type of present, recording or whatever we're doing, so that when people log into YouTube to watch our meetings, they'll see that the school definitely has an outstanding IT department to put this together. So thank you. And, I think that's it. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.